Make sure y'all can hear me. Make sure y'all can hear me. All right, let's get it. We here. All right, man. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Y'all know what day it is. Y'all know what time it is. And y'all know who y'all looking at. Welcome to another episode of Club Pizzle. Of course, I am your host, Don P. Pizzle, Pod God, Unk, all those good things, man. Thank you all for y'all continued support of this platform. Thank y'all for y'all continued support of this podcast. As y'all can see, man, I am back on my regular Thursday night. The sound effects. I don't even give a damn right now. Yes, indeed, man. I'm back. It feels good to be back on Thursdays for real, man. March was hectic. We are back in April. We are doing this thing, man. This is again, all of this stuff is fun for me. I enjoy doing what I do. Um, Make sure y'all get on up in here. Make sure y'all tap it on in. Because we live, man. Yeah, there we go. Let me get my Facebook. Shout out to all my people on Facebook. Shout out to all my YouTube folks, and shout out to all my people on IG, man. Make sure y'all like. Since y'all in that mood, make sure y'all like, make sure y'all comment, make sure y'all share the show. Again, my DMs and inboxes is open. Like, send me feedback, all that good stuff, man. We here, man. It is yeah, there we go. I got them all working. We all working. I'm looking at all comments. Everything is everything. Oh, Thursday nights feel good, man. That's Saturday. Saturdays is cool because I can actually, yeah, let me get the mic together. Make sure y'all get that. Saturdays be cool because, I really like some of my off days. I have time to get it together. I had all this together. I decided to call an audible at the last minute, but here we go. Who cares about the headroom? Y'all can see me. But yeah, man, back on my regular nights, Thursday nights. I'll be on Thursday nights going forward unless something changes. Kind of thinking about next week. I might go on a day early because the Cavs do have a game that night. I might go on during the game. I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I figured I'll keep y'all posted, man. Make sure y'all stay posted to the IG, which is posted right down there, scrolling right across your screen. Make sure y'all check me out on Facebook where I do most of my posting. I'm on Threads, but I'm not on Threads. I post on Threads, but I don't scroll Threads. Same thing with Twitter, X, whatever the hell they want to call it these days. I'm really not there, but I'm there. I look for stuff. Like I go there to get some of my information. But before we get to it, because y'all know the motto, we here for a good time and not a long time. I give you the best in sports podding or the best in podding period in 45 minutes or less. Can't say you get your money back because y'all ain't paying nothing to get here. Yeah, man. But do remember, next week, April the 11th, I'm live. And no, I'm not live podding. I'm live. I am hitting the stage for one of my final music performances. I'm just doing that because I feel like performing and want to perform. And every now and then I get that itch to perform. And I figure like, hey, I can just do spot dates from time to time. But next Friday, I am live at the ATM Lounge, 2490 Lee Road. That is Suite 309. The doors open at 8. And please get there at 8 or somewhere close to 8. Because I do want to get the show started, because I do want to get the show finished, because that's one of the reasons why I left like music and shows to begin with. They start late and they be there all night, and it be 35 acts up there and only 5 of them be good. So doors open at 8. Performing on that bill with me that night. Also, my little brother, Big Boss Dev, will be in the building. Jumpman Sosa will be in the building. King Jacob will be touching the stage, and as well as Miss Nattles will also be touching the stage. So make sure y'all get there, man. It is $20 at the door. Ladies, it is free wine all night while supplies last. Shout out to Richie Carlisle and Al Murder over at the ATM Lounge. I just went to Catherine Denille's show there last week, and I had a blast. Cat put on the show. She had a poet there. She had a brother playing the guitar, and he was playing the slaps. And she did some slaps while he was playing the slaps. Like it was a good time. I had a good time. So make sure y'all come out, man. April 11th. I'm gonna put on a little show, man. I'm gonna do my thing, man. Y'all know how I do. If y'all ever seen me perform before, y'all already know the vibes. I've been nominated for being best live performer in this city on more than one occasion, multiple times. Didn't win, should have won. Some of y'all holding my awards at home, but y'all know how that go. And also Battleground Performance League returns May 17th. Chef Carolyn's Exotic Cuisines, 12703 Lorraine Avenue. Again, Battleground Performance League returns on May the 17th. Defending champion Block is going for 4-time champion. I missed the last joint. I will be in attendance for this one. At least that's the plan. I thought the flyer said May 11th because I was gonna be like, damn, if that's the 11th, I'm gonna be out of town. I'm not gonna be here, but I will be here May 17th. Chef Carolyn's Exotic Cuisines. I will be back in my resident judge seat. Shout out to Mr. Shredder. Shout out to Timbuktu. Shout out to Flight Light B. Shout out to DJ Verb. Shout out to Don Prince. Shout out to the whole Battleground gang. Shout out to 3-time champion Block who defended his championship. Let me give a special shout out to our first grand champion over there, Envy Jazzo, who has her song on the radio and it is blazing and it is tearing the city up. She caught one and it is definitely the song of the summer for Cleveland. So, yeah, I mean, this is how that's gonna go. Again, man, Battleground, May the 17th. Chef Carolyn's Exotic Cuisines, 12703 Lorraine Avenue. I'm almost getting my David Letterman shit going. Hit the floor. I know my wife be looking at me like this shit crazy. Like, why are these index cards on the floor? But let's get to it, man. Y'all know the motto. We here for a good time, not a long time, in 45 minutes or less. Y'all know the vibes. All right, man. The Cleveland Cavaliers. I want to start with that. I do have Browns news and stuff. But I want to start with the Cleveland Cavaliers, who move. They're inching closer to clinching that number 1 seed. They're getting closer and closer. Their magic number is down to 2 games. That is a combination of their wins and the Boston Celtics losses. The Cavs picked up a win last night, and the Boston Celtics lost last night. It was 4, and now it's 2. So over the next couple of days, this number 1 seed can be locked up as early as Saturday or Sunday. All the Cavaliers have to do is win. They beat San Antonio tomorrow night and come home to beat the Sacramento Kings on Sunday. Number 1 seed clinch, and then, get ready for the playoffs. I mean, they're already getting ready for the playoffs. They're already ramping up for the playoffs. They're actually finding their form again, y'all. They're finding their form. They was out of sync on that road trip. They're starting slow, and the slow starts are something that's gonna happen. The slow starts have been happening probably for the last month or so. But this team is so good, and they have so much depth that they can overcome it. They fall back early. Like last night against the Knicks, they were down 15, as much as 15 in the second quarter. And you look up in the third, come off for the second half, and it was a avalanche. These last 2 games, the Clippers this past Sunday and last night against the Knicks, in which I was in attendance for, y'all know the motto: we don't lose when I show up or when I'm in the building. We don't lose. I've been to 14 games this year. They've won 13. The one loss was the Boston game, which was y'all saw it. Yeah, I ain't even got to go there. But it's been playoff atmosphere probably for the last 6 weeks or so. It feels like every game that I've been to, it's been playoff atmosphere. The Boston game felt like a playoff atmosphere, but that was Boston. That was a big game. I went to I saw Brooklyn. Like it was one of those grinded out games. They eventually came back to win it. The San Antonio game that I went to last week, the intensity was up a little bit. Last night it was intense. Like the air was thick in Rocket Arena last night. You could feel it. You could feel it when I walked in the building. I don't know if it was because it was the New York Knicks, and a lot of us Cavalier fans still are feeling the sting of losing in the first round to the Knicks 2 years ago. It felt like that when I went to the first Knicks game. It was a buzz in the building. And I know the Knicks were without Jalen Brunson, and they're without and Mitchell Robinson is just coming back, and he didn't play last night. But Karl-Anthony Towns was there. Josh Hart was there. OG Anunoby was there. And Karl-Anthony Towns, in spite of what goes around about him, and despite how a lot of people feel about him, me included, the dude can play ball. He's not a scrub. The dude is an all-star for a reason. The dude was the number 1 pick in a draft for a reason. Karl-Anthony Towns gets busy as a big man, a 6'11", 7-footer that can shoot the three, that can put it on the floor when he needs to put it on the floor. The dude can play some ball. Evan Mobley, not Evan, but Jared Allen got him on a big block. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But the playoff atmosphere, the air was thick. It was a lot of Knicks fans in the building. For me, it was too many Knicks fans in the building. Stuff like that, I get offended. And I take it to heart because why? But that happens with a lot of teams that win because Cleveland has a tendency of being a bandwagon city. Now, I'm not here to kick y'all's backs in, but if y'all want to turn around and for me to kick y'all back in, be my guest. It's a bandwagon city. Celtics game, there's a lot of Celtics jerseys in there. Even at the Spurs game, I saw a few Spurs. I saw more Spurs jerseys than I expected. The Lakers, of course, and I'm not upset with that one because I support the Lakers. I just would never wear Lakers gear to a Cavaliers game. I wouldn't do that. The Cavaliers are my squad, and I do root for the Lakers. I've been rooting for the Lakers since Showtime. We were this close to having my dream NBA Finals of Cavs Lakers back in 2009. LeBron didn't hold up his end of the bargain, and he admitted that. Cool. What other team? It's a few other teams that you see the jersey, but it's really the big market, the bigger market teams. It's the Lakers, it's the Celtics, it's the Knicks. You see, even a Memphis game, Memphis, Oklahoma City, they're winning now. And these kids today know nothing about team loyalty and hometown pride and none of that stuff. They just root for the team that's winning. And when that team hits the crapper, they'll switch teams. It's a lot of people who used to be Oklahoma City fans that I know. Remember OK Clee? Yeah, I don't forget that. But anyway, beating the New York Knicks for the 3rd time. Second time by 20 or more points. Down 15, win by 20. Go Cavs. Y'all know the vibes. It was good to see. It was great to see them turn on the intensity. They were panicking in the section that I was sitting in last night. And I had to tell them, I say, listen, let me tell y'all something real quick. They were down, however much they were down at halftime. They were starting to close the gap. Once they went down 15, called a timeout. And I told them, I say, listen, the Knicks are on the back end of a back-to-back. You notice the substitutions, they don't sub much. They're going to get tired. And the Cavaliers are going to walk them down. And it happened. Dude in my section was like, how did you know that? I say, I watch a lot of basketball. I know these things. And for anyone who's a New York Knicks fan, I'm going to tell you right now, the New York Knicks are going to be a first and second round exit every year until they get rid of Tom Thibodeau. He is running those dudes in the ground. You can't expect your guys to play 82 games a year, 40 plus minutes for 82 games, and get to the playoffs and expect them to keep it going. I don't care how much cardio you do. I don't care how much you can be in the best shape of your life. It's not going to happen. And listen at me giving the Knicks advice. I am turning over a new leaf. I really dislike the New York Knicks. Anyway, but I watched the Cavs walk them down. I watched them turn up the intensity on defense. I watched them apply more pressure to the backcourt. I watched them make it a point to make sure that OG Anunoby didn't get open shots off. They made sure they contested. They made sure they got in their pocket. Like the defense, they got it back on the defensive end. Sam Merrill has been doing a great job on the defensive end since he's been called up from the charge 2 years ago. The player that I'm seeing now is not the player that I watched with the Cleveland Charge from 2 years ago. He's a totally different dude. The three-pointer is there. I'm watching this dude take picks. I'm watching him shoot, make layups. I'm watching him get down and dirty and dig in on the defensive end and be like a pest. I'm watching Isaac Okoro play at a defensive level that I know he can play at. I'm watching DeAndre Hunter, and I'm watching my 2 7-footers down in the paint protecting the paint. I'm watching Jared Allen get busy down on the block. I'm watching him make these shots tough on these guys. I've been watching Evan Mobley play at a defensive player of the year level all season. And he should be defensive player of the year. I applaud Draymond Green's confidence. I salute Draymond Green's confidence. But Draymond Green is out of his damn mind if he thinks he's defensive player of the year over Evan Mobley. The odds that I've seen that are coming out of Las Vegas that are saying that Draymond Green is the front runner for defensive player of the year, they're out of their damn minds. They're not watching the Cleveland Cavaliers clearly. And you can see it with Evan Mobley. They think they got an open lane. Evan will shuffle over, and they'll think twice about it. They either pass it out to the perimeter or put up a bad shot. He bothers more shots than I've ever seen anybody bother. Victor Wembanyama included. Anybody that's watching basketball this year or watching the NBA this year, if Evan Mobley isn't your defensive player of the year, just stop watching basketball. I'm watching Darius Garland get his groove back. He was shooting 40, 50, 90 at the beginning of the year. He's been in a little bit of a swoon since the All-Star break, and he's starting to snap out of it. He is my clutch player of the year. I don't give a damn who else is up there. Darius Garland should be clutch player of the year. And I might be on some homer-ish just a little bit, but I know what I'm seeing. And I'm watching a lot of other games. Like I'm currently watching the Heat and the Grizzlies. I'm curious in seeing how the Grizzlies are going to do now that they fired Taylor Jenkins. I think that was the dumbest move of all. And I think that's about the end of the Memphis Grizzlies because Taylor Jenkins is going to get another job, by the way. Donovan Mitchell is playing at an MVP level. However, the two dudes, it's three guys that are ahead of him, maybe four. No, it's the five that are ahead of him. And I see Donovan finishing somewhere in the 5-6 range, possibly in the MVP race. And that's because, and I'll get to that. But Donovan is playing at an MVP level, and he does understand why he's not getting MVP talk. And I do too. If Donovan Mitchell doesn't win MVP or Donovan Mitchell doesn't finish top 5 in the MVP voting, I'm totally not against it because the 5 guys that would be voted ahead of him are having great seasons, especially the top 2. I'm going to get to it. And Jared Allen is probably my favorite current Cleveland Cavalier. I mean, DG is DG. Evan Mobley is Big Ev. Love the DeAndre Hunter acquisition. Love Sam Merrill because I watched him go from the G in the Cleveland Charge and put in the work and and ball out with the Charge to get a 2-way contract and then get his contract converted over to an NBA contract. So it's like watching your kid. It's like, or like watching a kid from and just watch the growth. Pause. Who else? Guys like Okoro and Ty Jerome, whom I owe an apology. And if I ever see Ty Jerome out in public, I'm going to apologize to him because I honestly was like, oh my God, why is he here? I thought he was another Dylan Windler, but I was wrong, and I'm so glad I'm wrong about that. Him and DeAndre Hunter should be up for 6th Man of the Year. I want them to share the award, honestly. But Jared Allen, love the guy, man. I ain't gonna lie. When they first got Jared Allen, I'm like, oh man, they just signed the goofy dude with the afro from Brooklyn. They didn't trade it for the goofy dude with the afro from Brooklyn. And then I start watching them play. And I'm watching this 7-footer with these good feet and these great hands and this athleticism. And I was like, oh my, we got a big man here. And to see him after they drafted Evan Mobley and thinking, oh, Jared Allen's not going to be here. And to watch them two play side by side, and hopefully they continue to play side by side. They're locked up for the next 4 years together. And I hope they play more than the 4 more years that they're here. I hope they continue to play together. I hope they play damn near their whole careers together. They're both still young. Evan is 22, 23, and Jared Allen is 27, 26, 27. He acts like an old man. And he is a little silly. And again, I thought he was doofy. But to watch that man play basketball and to watch that man go ball out and go crazy, he is shooting 70% from the field. In their last 3 home games, the dude's missed a total of 4 shots. He's been playing ball. And the block on Karl-Anthony Towns last night, tore the roof off the building. If they would have finished on the other end with a 3 or a bucket, they'd have had to call timeout. Now, what the Cleveland Cavaliers have to do over these final games is just to set the rotation. The core 4 is the core 4. Or the starting 5 is the starting 5. Garland, Mitchell, Strus, Mobley, Allen. Now, come playoff time, Usually, the rotations shrink to 8, 9 on a good, 9. Depending on the round, first round you might can get away with it because you're going to be going up against an inferior team as the 1 seed. But right now, I figure you got your starting 5. Ty Jerome and DeAndre Hunter are going to get minutes. That's 7. Now you got, and I think I spoke on this on Saturday. Then you have Dean Wade, Isaac Okoro, Sam Merrill competing for 2 spots. And I think 1 or 2 spots. And I think it's going to be based on matchup, which of those guys you're going to see in any particular series. Or you might throw them all out there. Going up against a Boston and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, you're going to need the size and the athleticism. So you'll probably see more of Dean Wade and Isaac Okoro. And Isaac Okoro is your best on-ball defender. And shout out to Isaac Okoro for playing. He's been balling the last couple of weeks. This is a dude who has really not seen a lot of action this year. But when he's playing, he's playing. He's starting to shoot more with confidence. I wish he would keep, when it's open ice, shoot that thing. And I think that's what they want. But yes, let's get these rotations together. A couple of sets. I seen a few plays that I hadn't seen them run before. So it's like, yeah, Kenny's getting ready for the playoffs. He's gearing up for the playoffs. So these final games, you got San Antonio tomorrow. You got Sacramento on Sunday. Then you got the Bulls, the Pacers twice, and the Knicks between the Pacers. And that's going to end the season next Sunday. So I figure once they clinch, and once they get that 1 seed, and hopefully it's done by Sunday or Tuesday. Or if they win their next 2 games, it's clinched. It's there. And then those last few games, Indiana is still fighting for playoff position. The Knicks are kind of locked in the 3. Meaning the Bulls are kind of locked in the 10. So we're going to see how these last few games play out. I'm excited. Playoff time is here. These playoff races are tight. Let me give y'all the current standings in the Eastern Conference. The Cavaliers are 1, and again, the magic number to clinch is 2. Boston is right behind them. Then you got New York, Indiana, Detroit, Milwaukee. Those are the top 6 currently. And then 7 through 10 is Orlando, Atlanta, Miami, and Chicago. So looking at if the playoffs started today, the Knicks will be playing the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round, and the Pacers and the Pistons will be playing in the first round. Orlando would be taking on Atlanta in the play-in, and Miami would be taking on Chicago in the other play-in game. And those two, the winner of the Orlando-Atlanta game would get the 7 seed and go to Boston, and the loser, the winner of the 9-10 would take on the 7-8 loser, and that team would be going, and they would be playing for the AC and the right to come to Cleveland and get their butts kicked by the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I talked about this last week. Those 4 teams, Orlando, Atlanta, Miami, Chicago. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers will be seeing Atlanta in the first round. I think Orlando will beat Atlanta. I think Orlando is a better team, even with all of the injuries. Paolo Banchero is there, as well as Franz Wagner and Wendell Carter. They got some guys there. And it don't matter for real. And even Miami has a chance there. But we'll see. In the Western Conference, Oklahoma City, I believe, has clinched the 1 seed. They've clinched the 1 seed out there for a long time. Houston is 2. The Lakers are 3. Denver is 4. And that's, I think, because the Lakers are up a half a game in the loss column. By the way, Lakers Warriors tonight at 10 o'clock. I am going to stay up to watch that because I don't know how many more of these LeBron versus Steph games we're going to get. So I'm going to be up and I'm going to watch. I'm going to be watching that. Golden State is 5. Minnesota is 6. Those are the top 6. The Clippers, Memphis, Dallas, and Sacramento are 7 through 10, with Phoenix and Portland right behind Sacramento. So if the playoffs started today, we will have Denver taking on Golden State, and the Lakers will be taking on Minnesota. And the Clippers and Memphis will be playing in one play-in game, and Sacramento will be taking on Dallas in the other play-in game. It's gonna be interesting to see how this stretch run is. Anthony Davis is back, and he hit a walk-off buzzer beater last night. Go AD. Now, I talked about the MVP race. I spoke about it and saying Donovan Mitchell is not getting a lot of MVP talk. And that's because there's some guys that are playing out of their mind. Now, it seems as if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to win MVP. I believe he's going to win MVP. But Nikola Jokic is playing at a level that's ridiculous. Giannis Antetokounmpo is playing at an MVP level, and he's putting up the same type of numbers he put up when he won back-to-back MVPs in 2019 and 2020. It's crazy. Nikola Jokic, I'm gonna just run these down. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, again, he's probably going to win MVP. But I don't think it's going to be by as wide of a margin as a lot of people think it is. He is the best player on the best team right now. They have 64 wins. Oklahoma City is balling. They've been balling all year. They're a great team. I do like that team, except for when they play the Cleveland Cavaliers. But SGA right now is averaging 33 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists on 52 from the floor, 37 from 3, and 90 from the free throw line. The dude has had 30 points in 48 games. 30 plus in 48 separate games this year. That's crazy. Now, Nikola Jokic is averaging 30 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists. On 57% shooting, 41 from 3, and 80% from the free throw line. Those are crazy shooting splits from a center. Wait a minute. This dude is putting up 30, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists. Shooting 57, 41, and 80. As a center. That's ridiculous. These are, if you will, LeBron numbers. He's put up he's putting up point forward numbers at the center position. And these numbers are better than his numbers last year. Nikola Jokic is also top 5 in all of these categories. And I think he's top 5 in every in the major statistical categories. I think SGA is going to win it. But if I had a vote, I'm voting for the Joker. Other guys, again, I said Jason Tatum is having a hell of a year. LeBron is having and I know. LeBron has done this for 22 years. And Giannis is balling. He's putting up MVP numbers. He's averaging 30, 13 and like 7 or 8 assists. It's damn near on par with his MVP season, if not better. It's going to be interesting to see how these votes come out. But I think the top three are going to be SGA, Joker, and Giannis. And then Tatum will probably get fourth. LeBron and Donovan Mitchell will be 5 and 6. You can flip a coin, and that's where those guys will be at. Can't wait. We got a week left. I think the voters are pretty, they're decided. Unless I still don't even think it don't matter. Like SGA can rest for the rest of the year, and it's his. Now, moving on, we're doing pretty good here. The NFL's owners meetings were this week. There's really nothing to write about. Honestly, there's a few rule changes that I'll get into in the coming weeks. The tush push still exists and is going to continue to exist until one of the quarterbacks or one of the major quarterbacks breaks a leg, breaks an ankle, or one of the linemen has like a stinger, a fractured neck, a busted shoulder, or something because of the pile of guys and that force that is in there in that 2 or 3 yards. Until a bunch of concussions and all of that stuff comes out, the tush push is going to exist. As y'all know, Jimmy Haslam, Kevin Stefanski, and Andrew Berry were on a little bit of a little jet setting little tour. They went out to see a lot of the prospects, and that's the number 2 pick and having a number 2 pick in the draft. That is something that you have to do. You have to do your due diligence. You have to go out. You have to pop out. You have to go and see these guys. You have to show up at their pro days. When I say you, I'm talking about this 3: the owner, the head coach, and the general manager, head of operations, whatever, like the talent. Those are the 3 guys that should be there. Those are the guys who need to be in the buildings or on the sidelines or wherever they are at these pro days, having one-on-one dinners with these guys. And the prospects, Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Abdul Carter, I believe they met with Jalen Milroe as well. They're probably, as we speak, having dinner with Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders, whose pro day is tomorrow. So the 3, they are out in Boulder and they are having dinner or planning to have dinner with those 2 guys. These are all, and then there are other visits. They have like a 30. They can see up to 30 prospects, but I believe the Browns already know pretty much what they want to do here. One thing about Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, they're not gonna tell you a lot. They're gonna say a bunch of shit, but they're not really going to be saying anything. They say stuff, but they're really not giving you a lot of information. They're gonna tell you the bare minimum. Oh, we're like, it's just March 31st, and we're still evaluating. We still got time for the draft. There's still a few guys that we haven't seen. And they're thinking about the quarterback room and they're working out, some things. Rumor has it, or it was confirmed, that Kirk Cousins was spotted in Cleveland. Why he was here, we don't know. But would there be a potential trade to get a Kirk Cousins? Would they trade a 5th round pick or something like that to get Kirk Cousins as your bridge quarterback and still draft a quarterback? I believe that is something that they could possibly do. And Joe Flacco's name has popped back up. Would they bring Joe Flacco back in to be the bridge quarterback to a guy that they draft? Whether it is Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders or Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe. Who knows? At this point, you have to do everything. You have to look at everything. The Arch Manning stuff, I don't want to hear about. Because Jimmy Haslam, at least in my mind, Jimmy Haslam did not tell Myles Garrett in that meeting that they were going to tank for 2 years and wait on Arch Manning, because Arch is not coming out. Arch is getting big bags at Texas. He's getting paid like a starting NFL quarterback already at the University of Texas. He's making 10, 15, $20 million a year down in Austin to go to school and play football. So he's going to be there for the next 2 years, in my mind. 2 years, 3 years, however long it is. And Myles Garrett did not sign an extension to tank and wait on Arch Manning. Don't think it happened. Don't think. Absolutely not. It wouldn't make sense for them to do that. But right now, if I had to stand on a ledge, if I had to pick somebody to pick, let's just run through the draft really quickly. I'm going to just do 1 and 2 and then some scenarios. Let's say the Tennessee Titans do draft Cam Ward at number 1. I'm running to the podium and I'm drafting Travis Hunter at number 2. And then I'm going to sit and wait and see if the New York Giants pass on Shedeur Sanders. Because if Shedeur Sanders does not go to the New York Giants, and I believe the Giants have the 4th or the 5th pick. If he doesn't get drafted there, he's going to slide. Because everybody between 9 and like 22, they have quarterbacks. So I'm drafting Travis Hunter. I'm going to wait and see if Shedeur doesn't get drafted at 5 or 4, New England or the Giants. And then I'm on the phone talking to somebody. I'm going to give you 33. And Greg Newsome, because I got Travis Hunter. He's coming to play corner for me and a little bit of wide receiver. And I'm trading back in and I'm going to get Shedeur Sanders. If Shedeur gets drafted by the Giants or somebody trades up and goes to get him before we do, then Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe in the second round is not a bad consolation prize. I've been saying it for months. I love Jackson Dart. There is something about Jackson Dart. And I think Jackson Dart is going to be a pretty darn good pro football player and a pretty damn good quarterback. And finally, Jimmy Haslam has finally owned up and taken accountability for the Deshaun Watson trade. He said they took a big swing and they missed. They thought they had the guy and they didn't. And I salute him for that. But what does that say? Deshaun Watson is in Cleveland currently, working out at the facility. He's there rehabbing, trying to get himself healthy, trying to get himself back. He's posting all on his IG. I guess he's trying to resurrect it. He's going on his he's working with his comeback season. But honestly, I think Deshaun Watson has played his last down as Cleveland Browns quarterback. I'm not expecting him back this year, and I've been saying that for a few years. For a few months. Or I said it since the injury. I don't think he's back. And especially after tearing it a second time and having to get a second surgery on a busted Achilles, all the medical technology in the world is not going to get you back in 11 months. No matter how hard you work, no matter how hard you train. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. And again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just an and I don't play one on TV neither. I just go off of information that I have on these injuries. I just don't see him back. And I think this time next year, they'll release him. They'll just eat the last of that guaranteed contract. I mean, it is what it is at this point. What else? Oh, the stadium update. Jimmy said sometime in June they'll know whether Jimmy World's going to be breaking ground or they're going to go with Plan B, which is renovating the old piece of shit that stands down on the lake. Now I understand why people want it downtown. That's fine. I don't mind the stadium downtown. I just don't like where the stadium is now because that ain't downtown. Why the hell do I got to cross the freeway to get to the damn stadium if I'm coming from downtown, right? It's a bad location. It's always been a bad location. Now, if the city can find a location or find the right location downtown, then I say yes. Build the damn thing downtown. But get it off the lake. That is the worst place. Even if they do put a dome, or even if they are doing these renovations that they're talking about doing, the team will probably be playing in another location for a year or two. That was the last thing that I heard about if they were going to be renovating that stadium. And what the hell? I think tear it down and just tear it down and build something and build a new one. That's what they got to do because that's the only way to fix that stadium. Anybody who's been to that stadium can tell you that stadium is a piece of shit. That stadium has been a bad stadium since they built it. I hate to get back on this horse, but they never should have put it back there in the first place. That was the city of Cleveland being thirsty and wanting the team back so bad that they were willing to put it on the same ground where get it out of there. And I still stand on the side of, you know what, I'm not even going to go there. I don't even feel like it. I don't have the energy. I didn't get hungry. So it'd take too much time. But the stadium thing will be resolved, or they think it'll be resolved. I think Jimmy said June the 30th. Give me Brook Park, man. Give me that out there. Because you put a dome, it's a dome stadium. The location is right off two highways. 480 and 71 are right there. The rapid station is right there. You can, and then people talk about this in Brook Park, as if Brook Park is way out of the way. You can stand on Brook Park Road and spit across the street, and it'll be Cleveland. Like, what are we talking about here? But I honestly, to me, it don't matter where they put the stadium because Browns fans are going to go to the games. The place is going to sell out. They're going to pack it in there, and they're going to be in there. The city of Cleveland has to figure something out. And no, building a bridge so I can walk over the freeway instead of across the fucking freeway is not going to solve the problem. Building a bridge to walk over the freeway. I can't with this city sometimes. See, do y'all understand why I posted what I posted? I think it was either yesterday or today. I'm really like taking a sabbatical from the Cleveland Browns. Like, I'm really seriously, like, that's a consideration. Like, I'm questioning my relationship with this franchise. I've already gotten away from the fans. Like, I can't stand. Like, I didn't even like going to the game. Luckily, when I took my boys to the game this year, it was an okay experience. I wasn't sitting around no idiots. But I like to watch the game at home because I don't like to interact with fans, especially Browns fans. Browns fans are unreasonable for no reason at all. And this team is frustrating. Last year was the first year that I checked out before the last game. I think like the month of December, I watched Red Zone because I couldn't do it. I couldn't take it. I can't take this team. It just was so bad. Even though I still feel like they're not that far off, I think I need a year away. Or maybe me taking this time from January until training camp. I mean, I'm going to talk about moves that they're making and like the draft and stuff like that. But I'm not, my heart and my soul is not like we didn't get Russell Wilson. I didn't trip about that. Jameis Winston left. I didn't trip about that. When Kirk Cousins re-signed with Atlanta, I didn't bug out about that. Like, usually I'm pissed off and I'm upset. Joe Milton just got traded to the Dallas Cowboys for a 5th-round pick. Oh boy, the conversation I had with my guy Chris Cargile earlier, boy, he was hot. And I was just like, eh. And I think that's what I need. And thank goodness the Cleveland Cavaliers are on this special run and having this special season. And I think that's what's keeping me occupied from being like into this team. And I'm cool with that. But that's it, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank y'all for tuning in again, man. Thank y'all for y'all support of this show and this platform. Y'all see, I got the new logo up there. Let me point to it. It's right there above my shoulder. Again, man, thank y'all for the support. Don't forget, next Friday, I am at the ATM Lounge performing live, 2490 Lee Road. And Battleground Performance League is back in May 17th at Chef Carolyn's Exotic Cuisine. I'm gonna be in the building back in my resident judge seat. Shout out to the whole gang over at Battleground. Y'all know what it is, man. Always protect your peace, protect your energy. The message is more important than the messenger. And creators, be great. Stay positive, because negative energy is trash. Until next time, y'all. Peace out.